What is going on, everyone? It was day 8 of training camp for the Houston Texans, and rookie quarterback CJ Stroud got 100% of the first team reps, so we definitely have a lot to talk about. Now, I was at the practice today, and I will be at the practice tomorrow that the Houston Texans are holding at 6 p.m. So if you are going, please let me know. Let's link up and talk football. I finally hit 7K subscriber, guys. Thank y'all so much for the end of support. I would not be where I am today if it isn't for you guys liking, commenting, and subbing to the channel. And welcome if you are new here. I drop daily Houston Texans content, and also most of the pictures and videos that you were gonna see today were taken by me. So make sure you guys are following me on my TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter for the latest Houston Texans news, rumors, and updates. Now, some of the people who we are going to be pulling these quotes from are Cole Thompson, Brooks Cabina, Cody Stutes. I talked to some of those guys today. They do a great job covering the Houston Texans. Now let's jump in and see how day 8 of training camp went for the Houston Texans. Day 8 Texans training camp observations. Henry Tua is going to make it a fight for a starting role. CJ Stroud took reps with the ones and held his own. Young wide receivers Mechie, Hutchinson, and Tank made some plays. Run defense is looking miles better. And daily Will Anderson did some cool stuff. That linebacker competition is closer than what a lot of people think. When you get the chance to go to training camp, you see that one, Christian Harris is never coming off the field. He might be your day 1 starter. Mark that right now. And 2, whenever these linebackers interchange, the play doesn't drop off. So no matter if it's Denzel Perryman, Garrett Wallow, Blake Cashman, Corey Littleton, these linebackers are making plays all over the field. They are making it hard for head coach DeMeco Ryans, who is going to determine which one of these 3 linebackers are going to be starting come week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. Shout out to this linebacker group, man. I had some questions heading into this season. Seeing that CJ Stroud had 100% of the reps today, it was a huge sign of relief. We saw that the Indianapolis Colts have been doing this like the past week. The same thing with the Carolina Panthers. They are prioritizing their rookie quarterbacks. So to see the Houston Texans do it today, man, it got me excited. And CJ Stroud, he had a pretty solid day in my opinion, guys. Some more from Cole Thompson. Derek Stingley had some teach tape reps in man coverage, meaning this dude was locked down. You were going to see a clip on here of him going one-on-one against Tank Dell, and he just absolutely wins the rep from the start. When Stroud trusts his eyes, the deep ball is pretty. He had 2 deep balls to Nico Collins. The first one fell incomplete, but the crowd was excited to see that happen. After that play, he rotated out, him being CJ Stroud. Davis Mills came in. But then when CJ Stroud rotated back in, they ran the exact same play deep to Nico Collins on the left sideline, completion. The crowd went absolutely berserk. Tavierre Thomas doesn't get enough love, and nickel was A+ today. He was guarding number 41, who is a wide receiver for this team, last name Matthews, and he just could not get off him. Tavierre Thomas jammed him at the line, did not let him go. It was a type of rep where you just look at Tavierre Thomas and say, hey, man, that's a grown man type of rep right there. And last, Titus Howard pushed Will Anderson Jr., and Christian Harris is LB1. Will Anderson Jr. just continues to make plays every single practice. He had what would have been a strip sack against the first team offense today. Now we hear from our guy Brooks Cabina. An interesting observation. CJ Stroud got every rep with the first team offense today and all 4 team drills. Night practice tomorrow, Patriots on Thursday. Now, I said a couple of videos ago that I could see the Houston Texans starting Davis Mills because they are doing this open quarterback competition. And before the day off, the day before yesterday, it was Davis Mills who was having the better practices between him and CJ Stroud. But to see CJ Stroud ball out yesterday, then get 100% of the first team reps, and then ball out today, had a nice couple of big plays. I think we are going to start to see CJ Stroud more with the ones, and then inevitably being named as the quarterback number 1 for the Houston Texans. Now we get to our guy Cody Stutes. The quarterback competition might be entering its final days. Stroud had back-to-back days where he's been the best quarterback. He's not without fault, but he's been better than Davis Mills. When asked directly if there should be a takeaway from the reps for Stroud, DeMeco Ryans avoided a direct answer, simply opting for Stroud's improving just like we asked of all our guys, and a generic answer about the happiness he had with guys stepping up later though. Ryans made it clear they are very deliberate in how they organize and divide reps. This isn't the knockout blow in the quarterback competition, but Davis Mills is hanging on like Rocky Balboa after round one with Coverlane. It's Rocky reference right there, but if you are asking me, today's practice went more like Rocky 4. CJ Stroud being Ivan Drago, Davis Mills being Apollo Creed, and we know how the first part of that movie ended, with Ivan Drago being victorious and saying one of the most iconic lines in franchise movie history, if he dies, he dies. I think we are all expecting this quarterback battle to end sooner rather than later, especially after a practice like today where CJ Stroud got 100% of the first team reps and looked much more in command than the other quarterbacks. Now we hear from DJ Bieniemy. The quarterback battle went from Davis Mills with a slight lead to CJ Stroud not gaining a slight lead after the fourth day in pads. Everything before pads doesn't matter. This is the fourth day of the true quarterback competition towards getting a new starter, and he ends it with this. CJ getting all the first team reps for the first time cannot be ignored. You're already seeing media people ring the bell and calling it for CJ Stroud, and I think in the next couple of days, we will be hearing that CJ Stroud is going to be the starting quarterback come week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens. If you look on your calendar, we have an open practice tomorrow, then a game on Thursday night against the New England Patriots. What did I tell you a couple of weeks ago that it was going to happen like this? And I think that CJ Stroud has played well enough in his past 2 days. He has shown some mistakes, grown from the mistakes. He deserves to be the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. I mean, when I was out there today, you could tell the difference when CJ Stroud is throwing the football and running an offense compared to Davis Mills and Case Keenum. And I'm not even going to bring up Case Keenum because at this point, he's just collecting a check. We should not see him on Sunday. Shout out to Case Keenum. And I will say this to the day I die. Backup quarterback is one of the best jobs in the world. And it's not saying that Davis Mills had a bad practice. Both quarterbacks threw an interception. Davis Mills threw one to MJ Stewart. CJ Stroud threw one to Denzel Perryman. But CJ Stroud was just better. He moved the ball better. He had a nice 2 deep passes, one to Nico Collins, one to wide receiver Tank Dell. And the quarterback competition to me came to an end today. The fans all knew it. And I was expecting Davis Mills, right after hearing that CJ Stroud balled out in yesterday's practice. I was expecting him to go out there and challenge, push the ball deep. It didn't happen. Davis Mills threw that interception within 5 plays. It's over, guys. CJ Stroud looked fantastic today, even though throwing that interception. And I think tomorrow at 6 p.m., he's going to put an absolute show. When I watch the defense, I don't know who's going to be starting at linebacker. Because like I mentioned in the earlier parts of this video, the play does not drop off. It's not like when Laramie Tunsil and Titus Howard come off the field and their backups are just cheeks. But there is legit competition in this linebacker group. There is legit competition in this secondary group. Derek Stingley, Steven Nelson, Jalen Petrie, Jimmy Ward. They are all over the field. They make it hard on these quarterbacks. And I think this defense just, makes me feel much more better about this quarterback competition because CJ Stroud was having the better day, has had the better past 2 days than quarterback Davis Mills. The run game didn't have a very good day today. The defensive line was just shutting everything down. But you come to expect that from a DeMeco Ryans-led defense. Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson, John Mechie. I was so worried about them coming into the season. I was saying, who is going to be these number 1 wide receiver for this Houston Texans team? And it might be one of these 3. Now, of course, you got to throw a Nico Collins in there because it seems like Nico Collins has a highlight play every single practice. But to see these young guys definitely, take full advantage of these reps, it makes me feel a lot better about this wide receiving core. Now, you guys let me know if you are going to the practice tomorrow, because I will be there. And this was day 8 of training camp for the Houston Texans. You guys let me know what you think, what you saw. As always, go Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.